by Novex Finance. We are live on Restream. We are getting ready to go ahead and pin everything up here so we can get you guys going. Let me go ahead and pin the stream up there. You guys know what a big move in the market today, and we definitely want to talk about it because it got a little saucy. We saw a big old pump, and now we're just watching the charts to figure out what's gonna go down. But let's play a couple songs, get the vibes going. You already know, baby. Let's get ready for another great stream.
Deep in the pines, no Wi-Fi, just vines. Charts spread out for Fibonacci designs. CME gaps like ghosts in the mist. Candles burn slow, every wick got a twist. Solitude, silence, and carves out the play. Bear bully dances, no steps go astray. Alpha moves sharp like a hawk on the prowl. Numbers don't lie, he's the wolf with the hound. Clutch in the shadows, move so divine. Forest in the market, both intertwined. Catching that green while the trees sway fine. Legend on the charts, his name's a shrine. Heard the wind whisper, shorted along. Wrote a sonnet and leverage a charting song. Green candles sprout like moss on the bark. Red candles drip like blood after dark. Hedge fund whispers, they envy his grit. Trend lines obey when his cursor's lit. No discord noise, just an ounce of fate. He swings like a pendulum, never too late. Monotone scatter, his trades leave a trace. Charts in his mind, no screen to replace. Cold air bites, but the prophets stay warm. Market storms rage, he thrives in a storm. Charts dance, red and green, crypto tango. Clutch sees the angles, move sharper than Rambo. Bear trap snap, but he walks unfazed. Like Fibonacci spirals, his plans a maze. Bull runs charge, he rides them like a kingpin. Signal singing while it's fat, digits clinging. Never panic sell, now he calculates. Eyes on the breakout while the market debates. Clutch moves, he don't flinch, no fear. Candles glow bright when the path ain't clear. Clutch moves, he's the one they all cheer. Stacking those wins year after year. He reads charts like books, Elliott Wade plots. Others guessing blind. Clutch connects the dots. Mac D, RSI, trendline sniper. Why they chase the hype? The quiet decipher whispers to himself. He's the bold, timing the entry, think it's pure gold. No noise in his zone, just signals he reads. Plays the long game, planting profit seeds. Clutch moves, he don't flinch, no fear. Candles glow bright when the path ain't. Clutch moves, he's the one they all cheer. Stacking those wins year after year. Charts light up, glow brighter than the Vegas Strip. CME gaps got the streets on a crypto trip. Candles dancing, wicks slicker than a hustler's drip. Novex move silent, no need for a clip. Legend in the trade, fingerprints on the block. Blockchain buzzing every tick like a Glock. Defy dreams, I'm stacking on that Eid rock. Wallet full of alpha keys, turn never lock. Novex finance, where the game gets flipped. Candle pattern sparking every chart we grip. Decentralized hustle, never sink, never slip. West side grind, making coins do flip. Bull charge hard, bears lurking in the fog. Patterns in the smoke, I'm the wizard with the log. Fibonacci spirals, I'm the code in the cog. Crypto moves sharper than a diamond-studded dog. Green and red candles, paint Picasso on the screen. Liquidity pulls deep, pockets never lean. Whale swim silent, but I peep the scheme. Alpha moves nightly, cashing out the dream. From the Satoshi code to the ether's flame. Novex rewrites rules in this money game. Charts speak the gospel, prophets proclaim. West side rider, blockchain I claim.
Oh, yeah. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Trade Talk powered by Novex Finance. You guys already know the drill. We have to get into these markets, really figure out what is going on. If you're watching the charts or if you're watching the stream, thank you. You'll notice there's a QR code on the top right there for you to be able to trade on Novex.finance, powered by Orderly One, brought to you by Orderly Network. As you guys know, I am the janitor, over at Orderly, helping curate community, showing them how we get down. We're going to start doing all kinds of stuff. But today, it's a day that's all about the market. Let's tap in with everybody. Good to see a few of y'all in here. We're starting to get a lot more people throughout the different streams and everywhere else that we scroll and we join, and it's just getting way more fun, and part of it is going to be the adjustment of being able to really learn charts by being able to watch the charts. And that's what we're trying to do here. This is why we switched our content to be all about trading, to really show you guys how we get down, which is really second to none when it comes to knowing what's going to happen in the market. But don't let me take over this too much. As of now, we're getting ready to there's a big move happening today, and we really want to dissect to see what happened there. But before we do all that, we're going to tap in. There's only a couple of us up here speaking on Space. We are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Rumble, across a few different X pages as well. I think the only one that I have to, the only one we didn't go live on was Facebook, Andrew. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I can't go back.
Yo, no, let me see if I can get the LinkedIn going. I have to approve it, so looks like we're not live on LinkedIn just yet, but we'll work on those little technical issues. But let's tap in with the homies. Andrew, what a big pump this morning, followed by a big dump this morning. Where we started, we went higher. Where we are now, it's lower than when we started that big pump. So not only did it all get destroyed, we need to figure out what kind of cash grabbing, scam wicking play that was and by whom. But let's get to it, baby. How you doing this morning, Andrew? Were you marked safe from a cascading move to opposite direction in which 90% of traders were not prepared for?
I was marked safe. You already know how we get down around here, baby. Like we were talking about this morning, Clutch. Everything we're seeing is just a play out of what we've been talking about, honestly, for months or rolling in on half a year at this point in time. So I'm bored. I'll be real. I'm bored. This is just like, we short every pump, and I guess I can't say I'm too bored, because if I was that bored, I'd be like super. And I'm not doing that, right? I'm just trying to short every pump. But yeah, man, there's not much that looks good in the medium term, in my opinion. I personally feel like this last test up for Bitcoin was very telling, and it's something that, like, we had talked about a bit on here, and I said, hey, if we can push past 100 without MicroStrategy buying, I think we can make a run up to 140. And dude, MicroStrategy bought a couple times, and we couldn't push to 100. So I mean, that's telling, right? Like, how many more times can MicroStrategy just keep raising billions to buy the top? I don't know, man. Maybe a Sailor is that good of a salesman, but man, my last name is Sales, and I don't know if I could close them on just consistently giving me money to buy the top. Right. I think at some point in time, people are going to realize what's up. But man, we'll get into all that today. Talk about the markets. Talk about some stuff that's going on. What's up, everybody? This is Trade Talk, powered by Novex Finance. If this is your first time here, welcome. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you follow me, Clutch, and the Novex pages so you don't miss this. Also, guys, make sure you repost a space, tag a friend in the comments, send a DM.
If you don't got any friends, just say what's up. You never know if they're gonna bump us up the algo, cause someone to see this. They come in here, learn something, go out and find the next Novex buy and bring it back to Trade Talk. And we all make a bunch of money off it. And guys, you're gonna want to be trading on Novex buy. This is the people's exchange. It's built by traders for traders. We have all the bells and whistles and everything you're gonna want being involved in the DEX is there. So make sure you jump in the TG. And the best part is, as a whole, our community's winning. As a whole, the traders on the DEX are profitable, and that's unheard of. I challenge anybody in here to find another DEX or another exchange where the traders are profitable as a whole. I don't think you can. I can't. I haven't looked after tried a little bit, but it's just not. It's not probable, right? It's possible, not probable. But jump in the TG, because between Clutch, Ghost, myself a little bit here and there, we give you all the handle you guys are going to need to be successful in trading this stuff. So let's get in Novex and run it up, baby. But yeah, guys, I got a check-in question for us, and we'll get into that. You know how we operate on these shows, man. It's all about getting to the money, right? So I'll do a quick check-in for all the homies that came to hang out today. We'll get your thoughts on this question. And my check-in for the day is it actually caught my attention that NASDAQ is going to weekend trading. They're going to have trading 23 hours a day on the weekend, barring SEC approval, which I think this one's going to get through the SEC. But what do you guys think about that? How is that going to impact crypto, right? Because the crypto has just been the weekend playground for the people that can't go through, when the office hours are closed, they can't go trade. So I think some of them come to crypto on the weekends. I'm curious, what do you guys think about that? And then after that, we'll throw it over to Clutch, put a look at the charts. He'll give us a rundown of what he's seeing. He'll call a range for the next 2 days, and he'll call a direction for the next couple of days. I think we already know the direction probably, but we'll call it range, a direction, and he'll try to call a trade for the episode if we can. But we'll get into all that, guys. Let me check in with Hermit this morning. I know Hermit's up bright and early every morning. He's probably already locked in. Hermit, man, what do you think about this NASDAQ going? Hey, Clutch, you got some feedback on your mic here on the space. You might want to mute.
Okay.
But Hermit, what do you think about the NASDAQ going, doing trading 23 hours on the weekend? How's this going to impact crypto, if at all?
Hopefully you can hear me. I don't think it's going to affect crypto at all. I only say that because the weekends are already low volume, low volatility. So is it just going to be lower at that point? I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. So, I don't really think anything of it. Honestly, at some point, you want to take some days off from trading, like get your eyes off the charts. If you're sitting there 24/7 nonstop, you're just inviting mistakes to happen at some point. So that's how I would look at it. Like, sure, maybe people who normally can't trade the stock market during the week and be like, okay, let me try it on the weekends. But honestly, people take the days off, and I just don't see it being anything crazy. And honestly, it's very necessary. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy in a cave. I was looking at I saw the pump after, I was showing Novex on my stream this morning with Buddy. We saw the pump, and I was like, most people are gonna want to sit there and jump in because they're afraid of missing out. And I don't want to say I called anything, because I was like, if I were to make a trade, I'm shorting, because if I've learned one thing from Clutch, Trade Talk, and Profit Maxi stuff, is when you get a massive pump, you will get a dump of some sort, or vice versa. If you get a massive dump, you will get a pump in the it works both ways essentially. And lo and behold, I went to check the chart and it was down. So anyways, I didn't make the trade though, because I was like, I got to get ready for work.
No, I missed it too. I slept in a bit this morning, and by the time I was up, the action was over. I came to the timeline and saw everybody bullish though for those 15 minutes. They were excited.
They were, and it was I think Jerome Powell was speaking or something for some urgent announcement. That's what I heard. I don't know if there was an actual urgent announcement, and maybe the urgent announcement was, I don't know, and that's why it dumped back down. Like then there wasn't one, and that was like just sad again. So I think they were expecting him to say, "I quit, I'm out, have a nice life, everybody." But then that didn't happen, and it went back down. So it is what it is, folks. Just so you guys know, if you missed the big trade, guess what? That's a great thing about trading is there's always another.
You don't say. Another trade?
I know it's hard. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe.
You better
But,
believe it.
You have to. You just have to.
For sure.
You gotta believe. Young Jeezy told me that one time, so I've been doing it ever since. I've just been believing there's another trade coming every single time. But yeah, that's and I guess that even plays into this how I think it's going to impact the weekends on crypto and Nasdaq going live. Just because I say like, yeah, breaks are important, but then there are those guys that just don't take breaks, Hermit. So I think a lot of those guys might find their way to crypto on the weekends, and they're like, yeah, I'll trade this low volume, low liquidity market on weekends because it's better than nothing, and I still want to make some money today. So I don't know if we retain those people if Nasdaq is traded on the weekends.
But is it enough to like make a difference? That was my whole thing is it's not enough to make a difference. But again, I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe we go from low volume, low volatility weekends to no volume, no volatility weekends, and you just kind of wait.
That's whack.
No, that's kind of why I'm throwing out here. Like I really don't know, right? And I don't even have a guess at this second in time of what percentage of weekend volume makes up people that their primary trading is in traditional finance.
Well, and I will say with crypto being as volatile as it is, maybe a lot of people would do better on a weekend where there is low volatility and all that stuff. So, there's nothing wrong with trading on the weekends. Don't get me wrong. I've done it before. But yeah, I just don't see there being that big of a difference overall.
No, I'm with you there. And I was even thinking like, man, I don't think that crypto markets are as easy as they used to be. I think the skill gap between crypto and traditional finance is a lot thinner than it was even in say 2023.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
For sure. Good to hear from you this morning, Hermit. Let's keep it rolling. Let's check in with Massimo. Massimo, how you doing this morning, bro? And what do you think about the Nasdaq going to trading on weekends? Do you think that's gonna have any impact on crypto?
Hey,
what's up, man? I just had a Siamese cat jump onto my back. This thing apparently likes shoulder rides. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Excuse me. The approval, which they'll get of weekend stock trading, this is a direct response to the nature of crypto being always on, right? Trading 24/7. So I think it's going to lead to increased integration and correlation between the two asset classes. Personally, I see this as very bullish, and again, I think it's, when you look at all the money in crypto versus all the money in stock markets, right? Obviously there's significantly more money in the stock market than there is in crypto, right? But at the end of the day, there's competition now, right? If you wanted to trade before, you were pretty much exclusively trading prior to crypto, right? What were you trading? That was it. So I think this is a direct response to the fact that crypto trades 24/7, and they want to make sure that they are taking advantage of, like you said, all the people that do a lot of trading and stuff like that on the weekends. But I think it ends up actually being a positive bullish thing for crypto on the weekends as well. Like I said, there was, with the ability to have the increased integration and correlation between the two, being able to trade, 24/7 or on the weekends. I don't see anything negative that could potentially come from it, because it's not like you're going to have people that are dumping everything in crypto just to trade the stock market in the weekend, and then vice versa, right?
No, I'm with you there, and I don't think there really are any whales that are just dumping entire ports to go trade on the weekend. But I guess kind of my thinking is there's probably some stock market whales and NASDAQ market whales and stuff that maybe they have 10% of their portfolio in crypto just the trade on the weekends or whatever. But I do agree 100%. I think this is a direct response to what we've done in crypto, and maybe even a direct response to Donald Trump, because Trump likes to just give those announcements that should send the market on the weekend when the market's closed. So I think there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, I also think as well, last little comment here, that the quote unquote a weekend effect that crypto has, where lower liquidity, higher volatility, disproportionate reaction to news and traditional markets. I think it starts to level off that quote unquote weekend effect as well. With the increased I guess with the 24/7 nature of stock trading, once it gets there, I think it would allow those institutional investors and market makers to obviously manage their positions and risk continuously throughout the weekend, and be able to cross-reference between the two a little bit more. So I also think it creates a little greater competition for the retail investor, and that's something that we, as not being the big dogs, need to keep an eye
on. Those are some great points too, for sure. I think I think that really is going to be an impact point right there for sure.
Excellent, appreciate it, bro.
Let's hear from the homie on the other side of the pond. I don't even know how the markets go down over there in the UK, man. Can you guys trade your markets on the weekends?
No, we're the same as you, man. Weekend trading and stuff. Shuts down Friday and opens up Monday. But as for the NASDAQ opening up on the weekends, I guess all the boomers will be trading the NASDAQ and escaping crypto. So maybe it will be zero volatility for crypto on the weekends now. Fun, yeah. But how are you guys, man?
Oh man, I'm doing good. Yeah. It's good to see the whole community here cooking. We got some cool stuff cooked up for the night too, so throughout the day.
Yeah, we're live fucking everywhere now. We're live on YouTube, Rumble.
I think Facebook's the only one we're not live in, Alex.
Well, I've given you the link, man. You just got to go in there and press the button.
What is that? Clicking buttons?
Yeah, you got to click button. Get out the trigger finger,
right,
and just I send it to your email.
Okay, we'll have to redo it then.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it.
You admin on the page.
Yeah, no, Alex, you're freaking killing it, bro, for sure. We have a lot more socials accounts dialed in and set up because of all the work you're doing. So thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, it's no problem. The podcast is up now, so we're up in Amazon and all that kind of shit as well. Amazon, Apple.
Oh, did we set that up for sure?
Podcast. Yeah. It's all Amazon, Apple. And
fuck.
some, Amazon, Apple, Spotify, and some rubbish ones too. Depends where you want to listen. But there's it goes out with the video as well, because Spotify are promoting that as well. So yeah, cool. But yeah, let's get on with the show.
What a savage.
Let's get with it, baby. And guys, before I throw it over to Clutch and he tells us his thoughts on this and gets into the market analysis, I want to direct you guys to my pinned post and what I posted in the comments tonight. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm hosting a $1 buy-in tournament on ACR, America's Card Room, but everybody's welcome. Even Alex plays on there. But it's a $1 buy-in, $500 guaranteed prize pool. last week, first place was like $250 or so. So a chance to 200x, 100x your money. At minimum, if the field gets a little bigger this week. But guys, check out that pin post. Use my link to create an account. The referral code is SAYLES, SAYLES, like my last name, and you get a 200 or 100% bonus up to 2K on there. You got to play through it right to get a bit of it, but if you play a bunch of poker, you're gonna make your way through it. But guys, get on there, deposit at least $25, right? So you can fire a few bullets and take advantage of that bonus. But we're gonna be on there tonight. We'll be streaming that too. It's gonna be fun. Might have some special guests showing up. I'm really honing in this poker stream for us, so we can start doing a little more with it and tap into the poker community too. You might see some poker celebs coming through in coming weeks and stuff. But yeah, guys, I'll be on there tonight. Hope to see you guys there too. But Clutch, man, I know you got a nice finish last night. You've been playing some of these tournaments with you, bro. I hope you're gonna be there tonight. And I'm just curious, man. What do you think about NASDAQ on the weekends and what do you think about the market? What do you see on the charts, bro?
Man, super bad. Is the echo gone and can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, great. So dude, honestly, them regulating the non-crypto markets to be able to have all the things that crypto has is an attack on crypto. I just don't see it being a good thing when one of the few good things that crypto had was, hey, you could lose all your money, but you could lose it 24/7, 7 days a week. And for me, them doing that now it's directly just one step after another to really set the stage to where crypto is going to be no different than all the other traditional markets. So I don't know what we would call it, but the day of reckoning, in a sense, right, will show up one day where everything you do in crypto, for the most part, is going to be illegal, especially if you're in regulated markets like the UK, America, just certain parts of the world just want to control every little step that you do. So for me, I'm just extremely bearish. Not going to lie.
No, I think there's a lot of negative with it, right? But I think the positive is that maybe guys like us and people like our community, we start finding edges in the weekends on NASDAQ now. There might be some edges there actually to take advantage of to when there's that weekend news that pumps when their volume's a little low liquidity. We'll be like, oh, we've seen this before in crypto. Maybe we can take advantage of those shorts there. But that's the one positive I can take from it, I think. But the negatives is it dude, like you said, is they're finally making our major selling point was the 24/7 casino, and they're finally taking that to the regulated place because in reality, those guys are just as big of degenerates. I would bet money if you had a regulated pump fund, there would probably be like most hedge funds would have like 1% of their portfolio set aside for pump fund plays, and they'd probably fire 1% of that 1% at pump fund plays and hope to hit the 1000x. Like they're that big of a degenerate. They're that big of degenerates. Like even Michael Saylor, like that dude, he's not an investing genius. He's not that brilliant. He's just a great salesman and knows how to raise money. I guarantee you, if me and Clutch had the connections that Michael Saylor had, I think there's no question that we would have more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy. It's not even a debate.
That's true. That's true. It does feel pretty saucy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I just you can't have your cake and eat it too. And I think it really comes down to in crypto, the perfection was how available it was to do whatever it was that you wanted. That's been taken away now, and it's slowly but surely going to those places to where even the big airdrops are now letting us know that, hey, if you're from America, you better not be taking this airdrop. You better not be claiming these reward points. You better not be doing any of that. And I think that's the real danger here. And by the way, if you're requesting to speak and you haven't even reposted the room, you don't even follow me, you're not going to get up here. There's no chance. Zero chance. I don't even know how you got up here the first time. But let's get to the TA. Am I coming through loud and clear? Just one last time confirming audio.
Yeah, we got you, bro.
Heck yeah. All right, guys. So as always, first things first, you guys know we want to really look at the health of crypto. I'm screen sharing the trading view chart. So I'm just going to look at CoinMarketCap on a separate window. I normally share it. But here's the dangerous part. Market cap under 3 trillion yet again. It continues to do what we don't want it to do, which is fall underneath previous cycle all-time high, which lets us know we can't even take that down as far as the total market cap of crypto. What have we gotten? At that market cap, Bitcoin was a 65K. There was all these other coins. I don't want to call them all bad names yet. We usually do between the TA and, passion comes in and you realize the vaporware and it makes you angry. But now Bitcoin's sitting at 85, 88K, lower than that previous all-time high, meaning all that money that's there is just leaving alts, leaving Cardano, leaving XLM, XRP, all these freaking vaporware coins that you just see across the market. I'm going to breeze through the top 20. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, XRP, USDC, Solana, Tron, Dogecoin, and Cardano. That's our top 10. A lot of vaporware there towards the end. Bitcoin Cash, Hyperliquid 12, Chainlink and Monero 13, 14, Stellar, Leo, which is Uno's, Zcash is still top 20 at 17th, Athena at 18, 19th is Litecoin, 20th Sui, super, super bad. A bunch of coins that promised us the world, and yet they don't deliver anything. And again, how can I know this? Just by simply tracking the total market cap of crypto, in which we are now $400 billion lower than 2 bull runs ago, all-time high. We went to 4.5, but we couldn't keep 3.3. And now the danger part is vicious pumps happen out of nowhere, and it all gets eaten immediately. And we're going to tap into that here in a bit. But I wanted to look at that. And then also the fear and greed. We're at 25 on the fear, continues to go lower. 26 on Monday, 30 on Friday. Here we go. More pain. Why is there more pain even though there's more greed? Oh, because that's what they use as exit liquidity. So very, very important to just kind of look at that and understand those numbers. And you just kind of see what's there and you see what's really not there. Let's get to the actual charts now. So for the CME, the very extremely interesting part that we had, is going to be on the 3-day chart. So we're going to go to the 3-day chart, and here we go. So on the 3-day, it's loading the EMAs and the indicators, so just give it a bit here so it can translate that. Okay, so on the 3-day, we officially closed the gap. These last couple candles really did what we expected, which was, hey, I don't want to go over the gap again. It's officially closed. So live on the stream, we're going to call it closed. And on the 3-day, you start realizing that it's heading towards its 200 EMA. That's that purple line right there. The interesting part about this and why it's very particular is when you go to the futures chart on the same time frame on the 3-day. We've all seen the CME front run the move. And it typically lets us know where is it going to go. So futures tries to predict that direction of the CME. And this is the perfect example. On the 3-day chart, we're below the 200, where on the CME, we're above the 200. The CME closes. You guys want to know why Andrew's topic was important? Because a lot of markets don't close. And those that do, they battle against one thing, time. That's why they close it, so they can scale it properly, so they can range it where they want, and no one has access to going rogue. So the CME trades very particularly, and you see it in moments like this. The next interesting part that I caught, I've already been on top of it, but we now see the 8 EMA getting ready to cross underneath this 3-day candle, the 200 EMA. The 200 is at 89,345, and we're at 90,223 for the ADMA. So it's only a matter of time before it goes under. And this candle here ends at the end of today's daily candle, which is in 6.5 hours. I'm under the impression that within the next 2 candles, 3-day candles, that's 6 days within the next week or so, you're definitely going to have this undercross unless we get above 90K. I had a conversation with Andrew yesterday, and I said, hey, Andrew, Bitcoin needs to get above 90K for us to have any kind of a chance. Why? Because it has to be above 90K, meaning above the 8 EMA, like you guys are seeing on my chart, for us to drag that upward, take it with us on bullish momentum, because more buyers are entering. So the law of averages should help us, especially after such a big pullback and constant dump. But that's not happening. Instead, the shot we get at that, which is this morning, and I'm going to show you guys the 15-minute candles, how disgusting this is. This types of moves happen when people front run what they think is coming. They're wrong, so they start closing their position, and everybody else uses them as exit liquidity. There were rumors that there was some Fed meeting, Jerome Powell speaking. Those things are probably fake. But when they go around crypto, there's a lot of sleeping whales with big bags that can go to an order book and just clip and pump it. 50 mil, 30 mil, 100 mil. These things happen. There's order books across the decentralized network as well, and it all rotates back into the centralized exchange world. This is why USDT is so important, and I love that pumpy dumpy chart, because it lets us know where the stables are moving no matter where they are. They can be on a liquid centralized exchange, liquid DEX. They can be in illiquid pools. You're still going to track it. You're still going to see it. And this is why it's so very important. And we don't miss because we just simply know what to look for. And the law of averages has been something that has fared me very well throughout my life. I was a door-to-door guy, and I always applied the law of averages. If I've gotten 20 no's today, the yes is coming. If I got to talk to 100 doors, or I got to knock on 100 doors, I got to speak to 40 people, and I've already spoken to 20 and I've knocked 50, the odds are on my favor that in the next 50 doors I door knock, I'm going to get a deal. And it would work out that way so many times. I would run out of doors for that day, finish at, let's say in this example, finish at 80 doors. But the next day I'll go home. After going home, not getting a deal the next day, I can reset those numbers or just keep going. And what do you know? It's always worked out well for me. So when I'm looking at these averages and I'm seeing the markets just do all this type of move was a, hey, let's buy the rumor. And they got cooked. I personally shorted. I have a screenshot that I sent to Andrew and Ghost on our group chat, and it's so freaking nasty. I was so mad because I could have held longer. I didn't expect it to go way below all these EMAs, but it did. And the interesting part that in this pump, look how high we went. 90,336. You know why that's important? The ADMA on the 3-day is 90,173. So for a brief second, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, we were above that average. And what I told Andrew to look out for was potentially getting ready to happen. And Andrew, do you remember yesterday what I said? I was like, but there's a couple of things that haven't happened in a very long time that are getting ready to happen. So look for that pump. Look for holding it. It didn't. So I clicked the short button because of the things that I was prepared to do. The next important thing here, this is where it gets extremely nasty. This little blue line, the ADMA, has not crossed under the 200 in a very, very long time. We're going to go investigate when the last times that it's done this. So we had the ADMA, and I told Andrew this because it's very important. On the 17th of August, 2023, we had a 3-day window of absolute pain in which Bitcoin went from 29,000 all the way down to the low 20s, 24K. Now that may not seem like a lot. You're thinking, well, $6,000 isn't a lot. We eat $6,000 for breakfast now. $6,000 then was 30%. It was a big deal. We lost to 8 and crossed under the 200, and we had a pretty significant about a month worth of consolidation and constant dumping. That was the last time. The time before that, we had a 3-day candle also cross on the 19th of May, same year. In that cross, we went from 27K down to 24K. Only a 15% dump. Not a big deal. Both of those crosses, however, came after the bear market bottom was in, and it was trying to break free to these levels that we're at now. It kept getting rejected. So those crosses were rejection of continuation, not bearish momentum building up on a chart, and that cross happened and then we nuked. No, it's how they kept stopping the pump. Okay, you're with me. You guys are all watching this chart. The only other time, the 2 times that it counts, that we actually lost it in the midst of a downtrend, in the midst of cycle top, in the midst of bearish momentum, was right here. This is a very nasty candle. On the candle of the 4th of May, 2022, it marked the last hoorah, in which we had a 3-day candle that pumped above the 8, pumped above the 200, rejected the 21. That looks extremely similar to where we are now, which let me show you. We pumped up after losing the 200, pumped up above the 8 a few times, and now we keep rejecting. The 21 is still far away. Notice how there's more momentum working its way up here. So that's the dangerous part. So now let me tell y'all what it did then on that cross, so you guys can see the scariness of it. On that day, on that last candle, we went from 40,000 Bitcoin till the initial rejection that brought us the bottom of 15,000. 60% correction. That was nasty. The only other time, again, that was 2022. The only other time that we crossed the 8 EMA after having such bullish momentum was way back in COVID in 2018 and 2020. You kind of had both of those things happen. And each time when that 8 EMA crossed under the 200, we went down another 40%. Bitcoin was at 9K on COVID, and it went to 3,800, 60%. On the other time, Bitcoin went from 6,400 down to right around 3K, another 50%. So when you look at the historical chart that is the 3-day for Bitcoin futures traded on Binance, which has been 10 years, this marks the beginning. You see it? It started way back in 2015. So we're at a decade of leverage trading, and what you're seeing now is this nasty pain of upcoming bearishness, upcoming down pressure, and it starts with the very first one, which is the ADMA getting ready to cross under the 200, and we're $700 away. That average is plummeting, and that candle is about to end, and then it recalculates the averages because on an EMA, it's an exponential move, so it counts the last 200 candles versus all of the candles and gives you a lifetime 200 EMA, MA average, or an SMA average, which only counts when it has a full scaled move and it confirms the direction. The EMA is what gives you the direction confirmation well in advance. This is how I've been able to catch USDT dumpy pumpy. So when I'm looking at this, it's nasty. So we need to go figure out what upcoming local time frames, bear pressure we have coming. On the daily, all crosses came. If we look at the 6 hour, the 4 hour, everything has already happened bearish wise. Look at these. All the EMA crossings have happened except the 15-minute, in which we drag those EMAs up only to create this downpour and give us this rejection. So on the smaller time frame, look at this. All the EMAs are starting to start heading downward. So relief rally, who knows? But what I can say is 21 heading under 50 on the 30-minute. The 1 hour, we just had 8 and 21 cross under the 50. This is why it ate all this up. So there's just a lot of bearish momentum on the chart for futures. I would really be looking here if I'm going to just be tracking Bitcoin. I'm going to be looking at the daily and just wait to see if there's any gaps established, because at this point, there's no gaps. Everything is closed except the one big, massive CME gap that we never closed at 20K. There's a couple of arguments against why we don't think that's a real gap, just because of the value gap, the value proposition of the US dollar. We did that during COVID, in which we printed so much money. So a 20K gap can be argued that it was really closed at 25, 30,000, which we went down after leaving the gap. We went back down to 22 to 24K, leaving a gap at 20. But the value of the dollar was so heavily diluted because we printed so much money that, I don't know if necessarily that gap is that important, but it sure feels like it the closer we get to losing 70, 80K for Bitcoin. Because then if you lose a 70K, let's just say we're sitting at 70K, what's 60% from that? That'll bring us down to 25 to 30,000, or the CME gap. A lot of dangerous things potentially happen in here. And just for Bitcoin to CME, you really want to pay attention to the upcoming bear pressure that you're starting to finally see happening. And on the 5-day, you start seeing the 21 under the 50. On the weekly, you're seeing the same thing. We're just losing so much bullish momentum because over the last couple months, we completely lost it all. It's been now 7 weeks of absolute pain. And it was so easy to track it if you just track the USDT dominance chart. And that's the one I'm going to go to next. We're going to go to the daily, because on the daily, I think Ghost said it yesterday on one of his streams. He's like, damn, this uptrend on this daily chart is one of the most vicious up, swings that I've ever seen. And it's true. This is some crazy bullish momentum, and you guys were given the absolute bottom of the lifetime trend. So trade talk enjoyers, do not miss. Look at the very next day candle, and I tracked all this. You can record the show. You can go to the recordings of the show in which I marked the bottom of this chart on 3-day. I'll actually love people to doubt, so then you can go look for it and just realize just how amazing we have been here with RTA. On the daily, no more bullish crossing, right? 15, 30, right? Like all the bullish crossing already happened. The dangerous part about what you're seeing is we are now entering the Toyota and ramen territory. Let me go here to my lifetime chart on the monthly, bounce perfectly off the all-time trend. And what we're doing now is predicted extended bear rally 2-touch. When were we going to get that 3-touch? Well, we got the 3-touch on that wick, but it just blew through it and completely invalidated that trend. So now that's an alley, which we can respect, and why I have the gridded line. It's also on my Toyota and ramen territory. Remember, when this chart pumpies, your bags go super dumpy. So look at this 3-month absolute painful freaking recovery from this chart. That's why the market has dumped heavily. Keep in mind, this chart tells you so much. So USDT.D is the ticker. Save it, add it to your trading view. It's going to change your life. Change mine. I'm now looking for this monthly candle to end and somehow not blow through this trend, create a perfect 3-touch trend. And here's the hopium that I am going with. I'm hoping that we reject this freaking nasty, nasty trend here, right? It's been such a big test from the bottom of the bear market, right? From 2022 and 2023. If we can just reject here, then we can make one more run at the lifetime trend in which you are hoping to see something like this, right? I'm going to put this on green here as we want to see a big rejection and we head towards that lifetime trend. And now we're absolutely cooking. Is that possible? You bet your sweet cheeks it is. Why? For starters, the move that everyone expects typically isn't the move that's going to happen. This is why when everyone expected Bitcoin to keep ripping because it printed a higher high and an all-time high, I caught triple divergence and said, no way, no chance. At least there's a 4% chance, 96% chance I was right. I was willing to die on that hill. You're welcome. Math is math. And if you track it and you understand it, you can realize, you come to the realization that they cannot move the charts without moving certain tickers. And that ticker has been USDT dumpy pumpy. So look at just this bullishness on the monthly. No crossing left, so that gives us hope. But here's where we get into the dangerous part. The 2 weeks, oh man, the 21 is about to cross over the 50. The 8 is coming, and we wick to it. There's a big old cross right here that should give us another leg up. On the weekly, what do you know? The 50 is going to cross over the 200. So we are getting, look how close this is. We are absolutely right there. And those are the things that we really don't want to just, get caught up in. You don't want to go and get caught up in these swings going the other way. I don't want to be on a long when this chart's pumping. Most people don't care. Cool. That's fine. Personally, I just wait for a dump to happen on this chart because that means we got a long in the market. And then I freaking short. It's been nonstop. And I just take what the market gives me. No greed. I don't overtrade. My portfolio is always safe. They can take me for a couple $100, but I take them for a couple $100 more than they take me. Matter of fact, they haven't taken me on Novex yet. Beepity boppity. Hey. Anyways, USDT dumpy on the weekly, upcoming freaking bullishness, which means upcoming pain. 5-day, the 50 over 200 as well. 3-day, right? We could just go down through all these charts and already happen. So all bullish crossing happen on the 3-day, the daily, all the way down to the 6, 4-hour. So what I'm trying to tell y'all here, guys, that we only have the big time frame TA or bearish momentum, or I should say bullish momentum on this chart. Once we get all those bullish crosses, we should be able to start setting up our big time longs. This Toyota and ramen territory, I feel we're going to enter on one of these crosses on the 3, 5-day, weekly, bi-weekly chart. And I am looking on this area. So this is, I did a predictive trend where it's going to go. This is my predicted top of the bear market. So I am really looking to go full risk on at these levels here. Okay. Those levels are my juicy ones. That's where I feel, could this chart make a new all-time high and head above 10, 11, 12%? If that happens, we're cooked. It's not going to be pretty. And here's the worst part, because I'm going to measure for you guys live so you guys can see how high we can go from here. Where I see the potential bottom of this market or bear market, right? So anyways, following a breakout, this puts us at 14% and levels. At 14% dominance, while Bitcoin dominance continues to take out all these levels and just gain all the dominance, is extremely possible now, because this money will leave from where? This money will be leaving from alts. It'll be leaving all vaporware, all chains that promised you the world and never delivered you anything. That's where that money comes from. So for me, we are towards the top of the, hey, I was right. I gave us Toyota and ramen for a reason. So if you bought a car, I sure hope that it was no better than a Toyota because you used up bottom's money. If you eat anything more than ramen, oh, you're eating steak, but you're not a winning trader. Yeah, you shouldn't eat steak. Toyota and ramen until we freaking reject this area. And there's nothing telling me rejection, but there are a couple of things telling me, whoa, the pain might be over soon. I expect the dead cat bounce to give those EMAs some more wiggle room so then they can give us more bearish momentum, or I should say bullish momentum on USDT dumpy. In order to drag these EMAs and use them for you, you got to go the opposite direction. Kind of like what Bitcoin did on the 15-minute chart, that we were way below the EMAs. Out of nowhere, they pumped their way above so they can drag these up like a rubber band only to then take out the order book. And these are just visual representations of what the market makers are doing. So I call it rubber bands and stretching and going the other way, but that's just the title to it. The real visual is market makers know we couldn't get more people to short here. We got to pump it. They probably made another fake tweet, just like the Cointelegraph guy before the ETFs. They couldn't get more people to short. It was done. So they did a fake freaking tweet. So then to see where they would be at, massive pump happened, and then they G'd it all. So they grabbed liquidity, re-aped the bottom, and then the real ETF announcement came. So whatever happened today was very similar to what we saw with the fake Cointelegraph tweet in 2023, which broke the market out of a range because it needed more bullish momentum. It needed it. So they had to fake it, rug people so then they can FOMO in, and then the rest is freaking history. So I look at this move today as one of those moves. This isn't natural. You can go down and look at how many pumps you got that big in one freaking candle, and it just doesn't happen very much. So I'm very comfortable in shorts, but there are some signs that are telling us reversal is coming soon. Now, that reversal doesn't mean we're heading straight to the freaking top and that's it. The market goes freaking bananas. All I'm saying is constant, continuous, dangerous pain goes out the window once we fully bottom out at these levels in the 8 to 12% range for USDT dominance. I know that's a big old range, but I have to give the big old range because there's a potential that USDT dumpy can go on one of those candles that surpasses my predicted top. Just how I predicted Bitcoin at 125, I was wrong. It went to 127. Well, this is my predicted top for USDT dominance now that we've entered my predicted Toyota and ramen territory. There's moving parts. I nailed this first move, but it doesn't matter, right? You guys probably say or think, screw that. Give me the next move now. I don't care that you were right precisely. I care that you keep being right. I get that. That's the type of expectation that I have done for myself, that I have set for myself. And at the end of the day, we continue to cook because we understand these things. When this chart pumpies, I'm in shorts. When this chart dumpies, I'm eating every dip. I'm freaking longing I'm not selling Solana. I'm just freaking scalping, if anything. I'm just accumulating. We're almost to the levels of getting back to that. Because at some point, you got to expect this chart has to cool down. When I tell myself conventional wisdom is, okay, it's going to end soon, the one painful realization that I get, and this is what I want to leave you guys with, and I'm going to land my plane on this. We're yet to see a real economic collapse this year or last year. We're seeing a lot of people that are struggling. Life isn't going great, but there hasn't been a real recession. The government has lied to us about the recession, calling it one. They don't want to. They've lied to us about the job numbers. Government was closed so long because of what? A lot of just accounting for where is the money. So much money missing. We're seeing where it went. It went outside of these markets being used as exit liquidity. So the scary part for me is this. Everything I'm telling you is assuming that the market does traditional market things. Up, down, up, down, up, down, just constant, right? There is one hidden variable here, and this is a black swan event. And it happens every bear market, and we can agree with that we're in a bear market for alts, not Bitcoin. Bitcoin's cooking. What black swan event has happened? We haven't really gotten one. The biggest day in liquidation history wasn't a black swan. It was just end of cycle liquidity grabbing. And I told you guys, I warned you guys that it happened after celebrating that the 4-year cycle was out, the done, and new fiscal year and taxes and all that. Dude, I don't want to rehash everything, but I've warned you guys of all these things. So everything I'm saying can go out the window if the market does what it's doing, and then there's a black swan event. You're going to see one thing that has not happened this cycle. Bitcoin finally enter a true bear, which means it just just destroys all the other alts. Bitcoin has been healthy because the economy has been propped up falsely. Once that happens and we go the other way, meaning the market is no longer healthy because the economy is about to crash, and it happens in between presidencies and terms and this and that, and we're beginning campaign stuff next year. I predict one last good pump while all these indicators kind of happen before we really bring the pain. And that's when we announce that we are on the verge of a national collapse of massive proportions. The international markets are on stilts. Global temperature is hot. And we're just sitting here thinking, how can my bags go up? Well, for you Solana maxis, 500-600 active wallets daily? What are you trying to pump? 500 holders, one coin? You trying to launch another rug? I told y'all, remember I warned y'all of the pump fun streaming crap where everyone wanted to launch a token. Some of y'all launched numerous tokens, and it's fine. It's what the market was calling for. But I told you guys, it was so obvious that those were exit liquidity plays. The market had ran out of money, and they needed small influencers, because we're all influencers if you're at 3K followers, to use your people as exit liquidity. Just go ahead and give me one Solana, support me because I'm your friend. And everyone did. And that Solana's all stuck now. I don't know how many of your guys' tokens I have that are just completely worth nothing. There's some of y'all that are valued at something, but I'm not making an exception here. I'm just talking about the general spectrum of it all. And it's that this market needs money. This is why we keep washing the same $1 trillion from 4 trillion down to 3. They have it, they use it when they need it. Vicious pumps come out of nowhere. They make Michael Saylor announce a buy, and then the rest is history from there. So remain calm in these moments and understand that they're trying to take your money, but we won't let them if we're aware of their next moves. And to me, I think we're on top of it and we're freaking good at it. So continue to knowing what the trend is. The trend is your friend. From there, you can do a lot more to your portfolio positively by knowing these things and these tickers. That was Trade Talk powered by Novex Finance, guys. Go to novex.finance, create an account. You don't need a ref code as it's our exchange. Just go trade. Go put in work. Go get in on the airdrop list. We discussed this a couple months back. We've been out for almost 3 months. And our real full-on launch was going to be January 1st. This is the season of teaching our traders helping them, by guiding them, making sure they don't lose their ports, and just always being around through streams, through poker, through just constant activity for you guys to have a place where you can grow and learn and not be used as exit liquidity. So start setting up. That time is coming, and we're going to be doing a lot of social marketing that's really going to push us, to the fronts of these algos so we can go grab more and more traders. Life has been good and life has been easy because we understand what the market's going to do. So when the market gives me dumps right here, pumps right here, right? Because we pumped all the way to this level. Take what the market is giving you. This is what it's giving us, and we're freaking ready for it. Let's freaking get it, baby.
Let's get it. We'll see you guys later on the stream. Stay tuned. We'll be streaming poker tonight, getting the tournament. It's gonna be a fun one.
Heck yeah, baby. Any other final words from the couple speakers we got up here?
Viva Vavni?
That's about it.
That's it.
Be smart. Don't be dumb. There's always another trade to have if you miss this one.
These are facts. This is some grade A wisdom. Grade A wisdom. Well, guys, I'm about to play us a song so we can get out of here. This is a crypto story that's being played out in front of us. And life is good, man. Life is good when you understand that free money is there. If you can just control yourself and don't operate with greed. Paint your own picture. Tell your own story. I, for one, will not be used as exit liquidity. Thank you to Novex Finance for continuing to just be amazing. We built something so good, so smooth, with millions and millions of dollars of liquidity. How can it get any better?
Charts light up, glow brighter than the Vegas Strip. CME gaps got the streets on a crypto trip. Candles dancing, wicks slicker than a hustler's drip. Novex move silent, no need for a clip. Legend in the trade, fingerprints on the blockchain buzzing every tick like a Glock. Defy dreams, I'm stacking on that each rock. Wallet full of alpha keys, turn never lock. Novex Finance, where the game gets flipped. Candle pattern sparking every chart we grip. Decentralized hustle, never sink, never slip. West side grind, making coins do flips. Bulls charge hard, bears lurking in the fog. Patterns in the smoke, I'm the wizard with the log. Fibonacci spirals, I'm the code in the car. Crypto moves sharper than a diamond-studded dog. Green and red candles paint Picasso on the screen. Liquidity pulls deep, pockets never lean. Whale swim silent, but I peep the scheme. Alpha moves nightly, cashing out the dream. From the Satoshi code to the ether's flame, Novex rewrites rules in this money game. Charts speak the gospel, prophets proclaim. West side rider, blockchain I claim.
This was Straight Talk, baby. Catch you on the flip side. Next 6 seconds won't be recorded for the X algo. Much love, everybody.
Yeah, use Hermes links. Buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin.